Todd, I'm hearing music. That must mean it's another episode of Your Daily Scrum.
And we're back for another day.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice long weekend there. The magic of the internet. I had imagined most people realize we batch record sometimes, but we just had a nice little break, and now we're back with your questions. And Todd, we have a doozy of one today, one we get in almost every single class. How does a Scrum team handle interrupt work? So first, maybe we should define interrupt work.
Yeah, I would say interrupt and unplanned work are the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Yep. Yeah. So anything that comes into the sprint that wasn't planned, it could be support stuff, it could be new feature stuff, just anything that interrupts what we originally thought we were going to do during the sprint. Sound good?
Yeah, I think sounds good. So thinking this through, right? I think this just triggers a conversation between developers and the product owner. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think first step must be a conversation between the developers and the PO. The second this work, first of all, the work should be coming from the product owner.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that no one is sneaking in through the side door, offering. Todd, I can't tell you how many lunches were bought for me by VPs back when I was a developer if I would just do this one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
All the time.
And so, yeah, let's make sure that all of the work is coming from the product backlog, from the product owner, right? So let's get that out of the way. Maybe that's a different video for another day. But there's got to be a conversation about the trade-offs we're going to make now that the product owner has decided that this interrupt work will be done.
Yeah, I think what holds. I mean, we talk about sprint goal in so many of our videos, right? This is that's the center of the conversation. Then is, can we handle this interrupt work, and is the sprint goal still intact? If we do take it on, right? And a lot of the times there's just common sense. We don't have a choice stuff that happens, right? Could be an instant regulatory thing where someone's going to jail if we don't do it, or production's down.
Right.
You don't say production's down. We'll fix it in the next sprint. That's just not realistic to say. Well. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, customers. Production's down. So I think it's really. Is the sprint goal still intact? Otherwise, what's the options? If the answer is no, what do we do? Product owner, speaking as a developer to a product owner, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the times this interrupt work is mistaken for important stuff we need to do right away. I mean, if you're doing sprints, you're just a handful of days away from a new sprint planning event, right? So is this really worth disrupting all of the work that we have in flight? Is it really worth that? So product owners consider that carefully. The follow-up question we usually get here is, well, what happens if this is a regular thing? We know we're going to get a ton of support stuff because we're supporting. It's like we're building the airplane while it's in the air kind of situation, right? We know that we're going to have to keep the engines going while we still try to build out the lavatory or whatever it is we're working on, right? That's a terrible one to pick. But they know it's going to be a problem. And so the answer is, look, as a Scrum Master, you need to work with your developers, work with your product owner, help facilitate a way for them to see what the data shows as being the regular interrupt work, like how much of our capacity it takes, and hold that back during sprint planning. Make it visible, right?
Yeah, and this makes me think of our good buddy Daniel Vacanti, and he says there's nothing that kills flow to a customer better than an expedite lane.
Right.
Interrupt work slows down your flow of value to your customer. It detracts from focus. Bad things happen. So unless it really has to be done, I think our overall advice would be to question it, right? And as Jeff Watts says too in his book about product ownership, to be ruthless. I think we've mentioned that a few times in this before. As a product owner, be ruthless. Say no. We believe in the word no a lot for product owners. So.
Yeah. And if you're seeing patterns in the interrupt work, perhaps invest in squashing that once and for all. If it's the same kind of bugs in the same area of the code base over and over and over and over and over again, perhaps take a sprint, throw a few features in that would actually correct this once and for all, make the investment, get your capacity back, bring sanity back to your sprint. But be ruthless. Is this really necessary? Do we have to do this? And if it is, figure out the trade-offs.
Yeah. 100%.
Todd, I think we're good with this one. I think
so
we're gonna shift over to the end panel. Thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Check out the socials. It's all at Agile for Humans, upper left-hand side. Click that like and subscribe button. We have a lot of content releasing lately. We don't want you to miss a single bit. And check out the videos below. The algorithm has curated videos that might be helpful for you. But that's going to be it for today. We hope you go forward, do good things, ship and deliver, make your customers happy. We'll be back tomorrow to see how you did. We're checking in. And yeah, we'll see you then.
See you.